there's a couple different ways to fix a sewer. You can excavate it and you can dig it up. If it's roots, a root intrusion, or a few other scenarios, you can do something called lining. And the benefit to lining is that you don't have to excavate. I don't have to tear up your garden or your hardscapes or your street or your sidewalk. I can just line the sewer. I could sell a sewer for $10,000 and I could sell a lining for $10,000. I would make far more on the lining and the customer would be happy, much happier. We bought a sewer lining machine. So sewer lining, if you don't know, there's a couple different ways to fix a sewer. You can excavate it and you can dig it up and you can replace the pipe. So excavating is always good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, in HVAC, the top of the value ladder is replacing the equipment. You do a tune-up for $98 and you hope to get equipment replacements out of those tune-ups. It's how the business works. Makes sense. Drains is basically the same thing, where there's this funnel of, okay, you come in with a drain cleaning. Now, people do it in different ways. It can be like, we don't do the $98 thing, but some people do. We're still like full premium on cleanings. So it just means we do less, right? But we just don't have capacity. But so you can do these drain cleanings, and then when you do them, you can basically upsell, same as, HVAC. So in HVAC, you come in, you do a tune-up, you try to upsell it into air quality, and maybe flip it to a comfort advisor. Drain cleaning is the same exact thing. You come in, you do a cleaning, you try to upsell it to a jet or a patch repair or like a whole house jet or something like that. And then you also try to flip it to a sewer salesperson. So that's the model. It's HVAC, but with drains. Excavation is like sort of the big thing. So average ticket depends on where you are. I was talking to someone in Texas the other day, and their average ticket is like $40,000.
Oh.
But it's because they have to tunnel under the house in order to replace the sewer, which I had never heard of that. Apparently, that's just Texas.
Is it because they're on slab or something like that? So
the way that
they're slab and their building is done, they have to actually tunnel under and
they tunnel under the home. Yeah, it's insane. So while I was on the phone with him last week, they sold an $80,000 replacement to bore under a home.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
That's insane.
But very large lift to actually sell that, right? Because the average homeowner won't even qualify for $80,000 worth of funding to get there without doing like a full HELOC or refi on their home. So it's not easy to sell, I'm sure. So there's alternatives.
So anyway, we've been excavating for probably 4 years, 5 years. Drains has been like a slow burn for us, where we started really doing drains in earnest in like 2018, 2019. Just as we did more plumbing, we just got more drains with it. So, more drain cleanings. We bought jetters in 2018, I think, and that was a really big investment. And just we've continued to do that over the years. We went from leasing the equipment for the excavation to buying it. It's really felt like a slow burn, and it's a good part of our business, but it's still only about $4 million. So as like a part of the whole, like, yes, that's a lot of money, but as a part of the whole, it's still a small department for us. It's not like the big banana. But every now and then there's a step change, and this is sort of the new one. So the step change for us now is we're going to go from excavating most of our drains, all of our drains really, to we've now added this pipelining equipment. And what pipelining does is in certain scenarios, you don't have to excavate. Now, sometimes you do. Like if it's a break or if the pipe is collapsed or, there's different reasons that you would still have to excavate in some capacity. But if it's roots, a root intrusion or a few other scenarios, you can do something called lining. And the benefit to lining is that you don't have to excavate, which that sounds obvious, but like that's the benefit to literally everybody. That's the benefit to the customer and that's the benefit to us. Like, so it's, that is the benefit. So I don't have to tear up your garden or your hardscapes or your street or your sidewalk. I can just line the sewer.
So sometimes it goes through multiple people's property and you have an easement and now you're digging on someone else's land and the liability. Yeah. I mean, excavation's not a joke. It's a big undertaking for this stuff.
Yeah, it's real. It's a pretty big deal. And excavation for us has been good and bad. Like, tickets are really good, but we've struggled with profitability in it. And a lot of callbacks, just a variety of issues in excavating the more and more we do of it, which we do, millions of dollars a year of excavating. So pipelining, it's exciting because you don't have to dig. So most of our issues sort of go away. And it's also a premium product because you don't have to dig.
Yeah.
So now, like, I could sell a sewer for $10,000 and I could sell a lining for $10,000. I would make far more on the lining and the customer would be happy, much happier. Even if I charge like $6,000 for the sewer and $10,000 for the lining, the customer would still be happy because they didn't have to pay $5 or $6 in landscaping. Sort of that hidden cost at the end, or the ugliness of their yard for a year while the dirt settles.
Exactly.